Okay, so good morning. Yes. What a blessing to be here with you. I think you can tell how passionate I am with this class because what I do to be candid here, every time I teach this class, I do the whole program again. I do the affirmations, I do the work that needs to be done, and miracles happen in my life. And then I see also what happened. People have told me so many great things about this class. So I really have passion. Well, I'm here to answer any question you have about Keys to the Kingdom program because it's a program. This is a course in prosperity consciousness building. And we are going to define what prosperity means. Okay, because people immediately think money, which yes, is fine, but it's not only that. So there actually is an advanced course in prosperity consciousness building. It's 7 weeks where we are going to immerse in a beautiful way of going through life. As I told you, I have facilitated this class many times. And the methods that we have in the book have been used effectively by many people. Today we have the introduction. In truth, the class will start next week on Monday. But we have this week to get the book, to answer questions, to get registered, to prepare to start the class on Monday. Now, each lesson is designed to lead you or to lead us through a personal transformation of awareness. That's all that happens. It's an inner personal transformation of awareness. It's not outside there. It's a job, a work with yourself. And then everything will be manifested, of course, as it is inside, is outside, as we all know here. So there's nothing new. You are not going to hear nothing that you have not heard before. But the program, what we do is that it is like it contains everything that we have heard before, and we will apply it during these 7 weeks with the support of the group, which is so important. It's important that we all remember constantly that the principles work. If you work the principle, that's it. Principles, the laws, spiritual laws, they are all there around us, in us. But if we don't, it's like to have food. If you don't eat it, I mean, the food is there on the table, available for you, but you don't eat it. And you can tell the whole world, oh my God, this food is delicious. Look at that. You can eat of that, but you don't eat it. Nothing is going to happen. The same thing with spiritual principles. Now, let me tell you something. Since I decided to be a unity minister, and before I was a facilitator of A Course in Miracles, I have taught the Course in Miracles for years, and I have read the book like 27 times. And the lessons, I have done the lessons like 9 times, even though it says that you do it once, but that's me. I do it again.
Getting it right.
Finally. So I do it over and over. I will never, ever, in a unity service, in a class, in anywhere, I would never say anything that I don't practice. Ever. I have been like that always. When I was studying to become a licensed unity teacher, I had to read the daily word. And I had a fight with one of my sisters by phone. And the daily word was about, go and have peace with those that you have had. And I refused to read the daily word that day. I told the minister I'm not going to read the daily word because I had a fight with my sister and I had no make peace with her. So everything that I share with you here in classes or in the service, I practice it dearly, and of course, as I don't even have to say that. I think it's arrogant to say that I do the whole everything or I practice everything all the time. No, I fail, but I go back. But I really believe in these principles. I practice these principles. My life is based on these principles. So we are going to share a lot of things. One of the things that are important is that you take 100% responsibility for your work. I cannot do the work for you. I love Jack dearly. I cannot do the work for him. He 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 has to do his own work. So you take 100% responsibility. It's fun. It's not like, oh my God, this is so much work. No, it's light, it's fun, but it's something that we have to do daily, like brushing our teeth every day. That's it. It's 7 weeks where we are going to say, okay, what if I do this for 7 weeks? Let's see what happens. That's all. This class is highly spiritual, uses spiritual principles, and again, it's a journey toward a greater consciousness of true abundance. A greater consciousness. It's becoming aware. That's all it is. One of the things that we are going to do is to identify and change limited beliefs about abundance, about happiness, and about success. It's identify, because we have first to see, because some people say, but Reverenda, I have done this for I don't know how many, I don't know what's going on, I can know. We need to identify what's going on, what is holding us back, what am I doing that not out of guilt, please, if not out of the knowing. The work you do, the work you do, the work I do, we don't do it for ourselves only, because we are one self. Whatever we heal, whatever we understand, whatever we do it for the whole planet, the whole universe. You know what I mean. So this is, some people say, it isn't selfish that I'm doing this. No, you are being part of the solution. That's it. You are doing this. Your work, your spiritual work, is for every brother and sister. It's for all of us. Identify and change limited beliefs about abundance, happiness, and success. And then we will open the door to new possibilities by deepening your relationship with spirit. That's what we are going to do. That's the key. Open the door to new possibilities by deepening your relationship with spirit. And again, we will dive into what Jesus called the kingdom of heaven. That's why it is called Keys to the Kingdom. He said the kingdom of heaven is within you. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. The kingdom of heaven is, okay, well, that's the spiritual universe. It's everywhere. So we will dive into the spiritual universe. There is an exercise. I am also a trainer. You know Jack Canfield, the Keys to the Chicken Soup for the Soul. He has a program. It's an almost 2-year program where he trained leaders to facilitate his Keys to Success principles. It was almost 2 years. Actually, we became really good friends. We keep in touch. And it was, I had to travel to California, and we, every 3 months, and we will stay like 10 days together. We were a group of 52 people, and we graduated and things. So, and he does this exercise, and I love to do it. Okay, put your hand in front of you, please. Any hand. Look your fingers, no? And command to your fingers to grow longer. Just say several times, grow longer, but you do it yourself. Uh, grow longer, grow longer, grow longer. Tell your fingers, grow longer, grow longer, grow longer, grow longer, grow longer, grow longer. Okay, and now take your hands. Look what happened. Oh, wow.
Unfortunately, this only works on fingers.
Jack. Exactly. Now go back. Back to normal. Back to normal. Of course, your fingers don't grow, it's your consciousness. You see it longer. It's inside you. But it happens. That happens with life. It's what we put in our mind, in our heart, in our consciousness. It always works. Do it at home one day, and I have like 10 exercises like that, like that. And you do grow longer and give the command. And when you do this, that hand, the fingers are going to be longer, just because your mind says so, your heart says so. Um, about applying principles. Why don't you share about when we start Unity at Unity on the Bay, that you were doing this big fish in Miami, big catch? That's how you say big, or whatever. What he was doing. Ven acá, esposo. What happened? Okay, just about the six figure,
Oh,
so that you were
okay.
making.
So I started my spiritual journey in 1997. Out of the blue, I had a oneness experience, and I started reading stuff of, particularly Buddhism, because Western religion didn't really appeal to me all that much. And I learned about the three jewels. And any Buddhist experts? What are the three jewels? Come on. That's the third. For Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. The Buddha is being like Buddha. The Dharma are the teachings, and the Sangha is like being a community of. It was a Buddhist community, but I interpret it as being in a community of like-minded people. So I look for a community of like-minded people, and I tried various places, but it turns out Unity on the Bay was like 1.5 miles from my house, and I went there in the immediate connection. So I started going there regularly, which is where I met her. And I was making a very nice 6-figure plus income. And I thought I was being generous by giving $5 and $10 in the beginning, and then working my way up to 20, right? I didn't really understand about tithing, because I had no tradition of tithing, and I didn't follow it, and I didn't understand the idea, the laws of giving and receiving, and spiritual laws in my conscious evolution were not quite high on my list of laws compared to the laws that I was studying and working at as a lawyer all the time. So it took a few years, and I gradually learned that what abundance consciousness was. But it wasn't really until 2007 when Johannes was diagnosed with breast cancer, and we decided that there was too much stress in our lives, and I decided to quit my incredibly then high-paying job and live on about 1/3 of the income that we had. And what was amazing is, because of the love for each other and the growth that we made through that love, going through this challenge of breast cancer, is we've never had an economic problem since then. And the day that I announced that I was resigning from my job in 2007 was the official beginning of the recession of 2008. So all of my plans were gone. You know, we had a house that was worth a lot of money. I couldn't give away my house, much less sell it, right? So, but what happened was just a whole series of events where life became economically easy, and it was bizarre because my income was literally a third of what, less than a third of what I had been making.
Yeah.
So, and I attribute that to the fact that we went through an intensive period of
Transformation.
deepening
Yeah.
our faith
Yeah.
and spending a lot of time together. We started reading books together. We
Yeah.
read
Retreat.
we
and
read the Masters.
the way of mastery.
The Way of Mastery. We read that together. Took us a year,
together.
and then we started reading other works together, and it really transformed things. And then coming here, it's like our wealth doubles because so cheap living here, right? And it's been amazing. It's been an amazing transformation.
And I remember Jack and I said, my God, how are we going to pay for all our expenses? With this new salary, we didn't understand. We didn't have to fire a housekeeper. We didn't have to change our lifestyle. We didn't have to leave the club that we belong to. We were like, what's going on? It was like magically, everything was taken care of. There was no difference. So we have the experience of how life is your consciousness. We could not even explain, but we lived in that spiritual transformation due to the health challenge I was going through. So again, everything is consciousness. I know we hear this over and over and over, but it's awesome when you see it, when you live it. So
Consciousness from the heart.
From the heart, of course, it's not intellectually. What we are going to do, I'm going to summarize the program. We are going to use spiritual tools, affirmative prayer, but we are going to do it consciously. We are going to do visioning.
Amor, do you want to go through the 7 weeks?
The what?
The 7 weeks?
Yes, in a moment.
Okay.
We are going to do work on forgiveness, which is releasing all the stuff that we carry that unnecessary for us. Proactive gratitude, affirmations, and journaling. This is going to happen during 7 weeks. We are going to do group and independent study, questions, exercises. We are going to do group work, healthy sharing, and the only thing you are going to need is the book, which Jack is going to explain how to get that book, and a journal. You see, in the book you have space to write, but you are going to get so many ideas and inspirations and things that you want in a notebook to write down all these ideas and all these inspirations that come to you. We are going to practice 7 spiritual principles, and we go 7 weeks practicing the law of love, which is commitment. We are going to make a commitment, vision, truth, circulation, forgiveness, gratitude, and finally, embodying all that we have been studying. So there are seven keys, and each week we are going to concentrate in one key until we own it. That's why it's 7 weeks. The first one is the most difficult one, which is commitment. But I want to pass this. This is what we are going to do. These are the seven keys. Again, one each week. And I have my glasses. Somebody found some glasses there because I had it with me. Let me see if I put it. Let's go over those keys. I put it back. Okay. Each week we are going to do to concentrate in one key. The key one is make the commitment. It says the world was not given to you. You were given to the world. And then step into the natural flow of abundance by committing yourself to becoming a giver to life. Key to hold the vision. It says you will not rise higher than your personal vision for your life. Expand your vision and follow your bliss. Believe in your highest potential, and you will realize it. Now, this is not like something that you are going to do intellectually. What we are going to do is to allow Spirit to guide us. Okay, what am I here for? So this is not about, oh, I'm going to be, whoever, I don't know. No, it's what we are going to do every week, every day, every moment, to allow Spirit to tell us what to do or what to, that's the key always. The third key is build a new awareness. Your limiting beliefs have always held you back. A new awareness of the truth of your being will set you free. Key 4, make room for the new. The law of circulation works to the benefit of those who understand its operation. When you create a vacuum in your life, the universe always moves in to fill it. That's the most fun week of also the key 4. And key 5, let go of the past. That's the most difficult one. Holding on to regrets and resentments from the past saps your creative energy. Release your energy through forgiveness of self and others. And let me tell you, I have done this 1,000 times, and there's always something, more stuff come up, more stuff to let go and to release and to, it's amazing. That's actually, I think that's my favorite one, because I like to see what's holding me back, what's going on. Key 6, count the blessings. You always attract what you focus upon, like, grow longer, grow longer. The daily practice of gratitude focuses your creative energy on the good in your life, thereby multiplying it. And finally, live in the flow. That's key 7. It says abundance is not just a spiritual quality, it is a way of life. Incorporate the principles of abundance into your daily living, and abundance will be your way of life. It's like the story that Reverend Larry says about happiness, that, go through life practically being this being of love and giving, and happiness will follow you. That's all you have to do. Happiness will follow you. Oh God, will be so many stories doing these 7 weeks. It's amazing. So, in summary, we are going to spend 7 weeks of living without fear, being brave, saying, okay, why not? 7 weeks, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be brave for these 7 weeks. It's, the theme of my Spanish ministry is donde los espiritualmente valientes crecen, where the spiritual brave grow. And I'm in the process of starting Spanish Unity Spanish ministry here in Mexico. So, and we are changing it because I have been doing a lot of research about Mexicans, and I say, donde los espiritualmente valientes se liberan, where the spiritually brave free themselves. Se liberan, free themselves for all those limited beliefs, all those things that we carry, unnecessary. It's a choice. We are choosing to continue carrying these unhappiness and these struggles and this, there's a way of getting out. There's a key. That's the key to the kingdom that Jesus was talking about. I have here that is a choice, that intention that motivates the giving and the energy. Oh, it's the intention. What is your intention? Because if you are like, well, let me see, well, same way you are going to, always works, eh? Anything we do, but or we works 5% or 100%. It depends of our intention. That's important. It's 7 weeks of, oh, why not? It's the seed of giving, respond to the consciousness of the giver. A ver, I have to, because, okay, finally, I knew there was something. We have to do a commitment, okay? 7 weeks, and I'm going to start answering questions. I'm going to read what it says. The commitment, because that's the key. And you don't have to make a decision. Now, I invite you to go to your house and take a deep breath and say, okay, do I really want to do this? Okay, I'm brave enough. Plus, this is a safe environment. I have taught this class where there are 65 or 70 people, like Unity on the Bay, for example. And it's some people like, it's like, this is such a safe and beautiful group. It says, the commitment. The ultimate purpose of this course is to free us from all worry and doubt about how we shall live freely and abundantly, like the worry that Jack and I had, and he decided to, and to build an unshakable faith and trust in the goodness of life. To build an unshakable faith and trust in the goodness of life. Can you imagine going through life having that unshakable and faith and trust in the goodness of life? For with such a faith, we will never be without the things we need to live a happy and fulfilling life. So this is the commitment. Each one of you are going to sign. It's like a commitment with yourself, okay, between you and God. You don't have to tell me anything. And he says, before you sign up for this course, you were informed that it required an extraordinary commitment to giving. And here again is the commitment you are making. Number 1, to tie 10% of your time to yourself over the next 7 weeks by consciously reserving it for daily prayer and meditation and the exercises and assignments contained in this course. 10% of normal waking hours is about 90 minutes a day devoted to your spiritual growth. You commit to do that. Of course, the exercises in the course is part of the time. Coming to Unity service is part of the time. It's 90 minutes daily committed to your spiritual growth. Reading the Bible, reading the Course in Miracles, the Bhagavad Gita, whatever you do, praying, whatever you do for your spiritual growth counts. And let me tell you, it will pass so fast. You are not going to spend 90 minutes. You will find yourself 3 hours, 4 hours reading these amazing books, doing this, these exercises, writing, but 90 minutes daily. Again, like brushing your teeth daily. It's not, today I don't want to do it. No, you push yourself. To tie 10% of your talent to the world around you by serving unselfishly in a volunteer capacity for some organization, person, or cause that has personal meaning for you. Is that clear? Say 10% of a 40-hour work week is 4-hour volunteer session per week. So you do some kind, I don't know if you heard Susanna, that she took Keys to the Kingdom. Susanna was in a very, I asked her, I said, can I share? She's a singer, as you know, and she was going through and she was not having like enough work, and so she did Keys to the Kingdom, and she says, I'm going to tithe, I'm going to sing every Sunday, and you don't have to pay me. Part of my time of tithing. My God, Susanna gets so many invitations to sing that she has to choose. Okay, which one is I want to do, or which one pays me more, or which one. Those things happen, but she worked with herself. It wasn't like, I want to do. No, she says, I need some change in my life with everything. And it happened. That's why she keeps coming and singing, and because that was her commitment. So 4 hours a week doing some volunteer work. You choose where you are going. This is 7 weeks of giving. You give of your time. You can help here, ask Jet, and how can I help? I don't know if you noticed Reverend Richard Medici. He spent, because he loves this class, he spent doing a lot of volunteer work in the kitchen. He says it's easier. I will be there, and I was right there, and he said, I always have to do some work for others. That's part of his life. Service, some service part. Unity, we need help here, so let us know. But find 4 hours a week, okay? That's, people can't find where to serve. Believe it or not, they say, I don't know what to do. There's a lot of places where you can. What else? And then the number 3 is to tie 10% of your income for the next 7 weeks to this class, which will be the source of your spiritual food for that period. And it says 10% of your net or gross you choose income given weekly in class. And what I have always done is I made the commitment. I'm telling you, I have been teaching this class for 10 years in Spanish and English. I keep your time, but I encourage you, because people are afraid of giving money, and then they complain that they don't have enough, and I'm like, ay Dios mío, it's like I want to put an injection of, we have to give so that the universe give you back. My commitment to you is, I will keep your tithe, and at the end of the 7 weeks, if you want your tithe back, I will give it to you. That's my commitment. I have always said that. And I have never had anybody asking me for the tithing back. I have lots of people telling me, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's not me. You did the work. You did the work. So I encourage you, if you are afraid of doing that, go to your heart and say, you know what? It doesn't matter. I'm not going to be afraid. Okay? And then it says, you may feel uncomfortable with some portion of this commitment at first. That is to be expected. To attain a new level of awareness and greater faith, we will always be asked to move beyond our comfort zone. But don't worry, you will have the encouragement and support of your fellow classmates as you activate your commitment. And that's what we are going to do here in this class. Actually, in the class, I don't read the book in the class. That's your responsibility to read, whatever is there for the first week. In the class, we do exercises, we share.
They don't start reading until that class.
Yes, and don't start reading the book, because even if you buy it, trust me, I am here to guide you. Just go inside and ask Spirit, start opening your heart to the guidance of Spirit. You want a more connection and more awareness of the presence that is there all the time. So try not to open the book. If you do it, it's not the end of the world. Okay, but that's, I will always recommend something to you that you choose if you do it or you don't, okay? And nothing is going to happen. But my recommendation, wait until Monday when we do the first class. So to give you an a explanation on how to read the book or how to study, because there are things that are at the beginning and then in the back, and then you have to go here and there, and people get confused and frustrated. That's the only reason why I say don't open the book, because it's a little bit complicated. Like, there are other people who are going to take this class, but they took it already and they know what to do, so they didn't come to the introduction. So there will be more people next week who, some of them are repeating the class again.
Hopefully we'll get more online friends too.
Exactly, and you can, if you know somebody that you know that is in need of taking this class, tell them. They missed the explanation, but the class starts this Monday. Now, yes, yes, please, Jack. Do you have any question? Because Jack is giving some explanation. Oh,
I have a question.
yes, it's a giving, it's an opportunity to develop greater trust in God as the source of all good. And to give in support to your spiritual community, which we become like a spiritual community here between us during this next 7 weeks. And then it says, support your own spiritual growth. And you'll see what happens. We will do exercises. You are going to laugh. You are going to cry. You are going to do it. Anyway. Yes, you have a question, Judy.
My question is, on the paper it says David Owen Ritz. I assume he's the author?
Yes.
Can you tell me anything about him?
Oh yes, it's there in the also in the, he is a leader in the New Thought. Actually, this class is the New Thought movement. You can see it when you are going to buy the book. This class is not unity, but all unity churches use it because it's highly spiritual. There are other courses in prosperity, in unity, but it lacks. I don't like to say negative things. Let me see how to say this. It lacks what this program has, which is a strong spiritual foundation. It's a New Thought. You're welcome. Now, what we are going to do during this next 7, we are going to have.
Let me talk about pineapple first.
Okay, come. Yes.
Can I start here in person and finish online?
Yes. Her question was, actually, I have somebody asking. She's away, and she's coming on the 3rd week, so she's starting online, and then she will join us. The question was if she can start here and then to continue online. Yes, and you can do it online. Another question.
So I can start the course online because I'm leaving on Wednesday. And I also want to know, I've done the 4T program at Unity.
I see.
How different is this?
Very different. I had never taught 40, but I had taken it like 3 times. But this is more spiritual. It's really based on spiritual principles, on your connection. I have some, I don't want to say anything negative. Okay, yes, it's different, period.
I've done 4T twice, so.
Yeah, I did it like 3 times, and then when I got kissed, I didn't teach 4T. 4T is another prosperity program in Unity. You are a licensed Unity teacher, and works. Everything you do, if you go to a gym, and you have a diet, and you have a personal trainer, hey, you will see your transformation in your body. If you do any program, will work. But you have to choose where do you want to be in your life. One of the things that Keys to the Kingdom has is that gives you tools for the rest of your life. For example, the last class, because people are like, okay, now what? Now what? It tells you what you can do for the rest of your life. And okay,
Which website do we go on?
Jack is going to explain. Any other question?
When you say you're gonna tie 10%, we give the money directly to you, we give it to Unity?
Jack is going to explain everything. Any other question? Question.
Let me explain music like some questions.
You want to do it from there? Okay. You will hear the voice of my husband, but no, you will not see him. Explain.
Explain, Lucy.
Okay, so on the screen you can see everyone must go to newthoughtsforliving.com. Okay? And this, by the way, if you have subscribed, we're going to send out this information.
Subscribe to Unity
Uni
Namaste.
Namaste. UnityNamaste.org. UnityNamaste.org. If you're here, you really should subscribe to it because we'll be sending out emails with all this information. So we will send this all to you in writing, hopefully no later than Wednesday, along with probably a link to this to today's session. So everybody has to go to newthoughtsforliving.com and buy either an ebook or a printable workbook.
newthoughtsforliving.com.
Or the printable workbook. And the reason for that is this book is copyrighted. It is owned by newthoughtsforliving.com. And because we're not in the U.S., the only way of getting this done here, and I think now they've gone to exclusively online. So they're only selling it through this website. I don't even think you can get it through Amazon. So you have to buy either the ebook is people who want to work from a device.
Electronic.
A printable copy is a workbook that you can print out if you want. But here's the kicker. So you go to New Thoughts Does Living, you buy either one, and you pay the publisher $10 through either PayPal or Venmo. Now with PayPal, you can use any credit card, so you don't need PayPal. If you go to the PayPal, if you click on the PayPal site, it gives you a choice to pay with any credit card. So for those of you who don't have a Venmo account or a PayPal account, go to PayPal. If you're comfortable with either PayPal or Venmo, you can pay through either one of those. That money goes to the publisher.
Yeah. It's not
Thereafter, what we're going to do is print out the copies, so you don't have to print it. Most of you do not have printers anyway. So we'll be happy to print out, and it will be bound, like with a plastic boundary like that. It'll probably be black,
If you want, we will print it for you.
just with a hardcover and everything. And that cost for us is close to $10.
It costs like $10.
So we will charge you our cost, which is roughly $10. It's 9 something. So it'll be $10 to make transactions easier. And we will bring that on Monday, next Monday. So you can't read it unless you cheat and read the PDF version that you get, or the ebook, okay? So you can pay us through UnityNamaste.org. You can pay us through PayPal or Venmo as well. And it's easiest for us if all the transactions are done through PayPal or Venmo, because then we can keep track of it. If we get it in cash, in US dollars, we have to convert it, it's difficult. And pesos is virtually, the exchange rate keeps changing, so pay us in dollars via the web. If you need
If you
help,
can.
bring your device with you, we will help you. Bring your cell phone. You can do all this over your cell phone, you don't need to use a computer. You just gotta look for the little menu to find the little menu on it, right, little 3 lines, which is the menu bar, and that will bring you to donate in UnityNamaste.org. And the same thing in New Thoughts for a Living.
So,
Okay, so the bottom line is, you will buy either an ebook or a printable copy, and if you want, you need to tell us either today or send us an email that you want a printable copy no later than Wednesday morning.
right, because it takes
I have
like
to go to
3
printer.
days
I
for
gotta get
them.
it printed, all right?
Yeah.
So send us, so either, let's make it simple, send us an email, UnityNamaste.org. Excuse me, UnityNamasteAhiheek@gmail.com, UnityNamasteAhiheek@gmail.com. It's on the card, on the stand by the mailbox on the way out if you can't remember it. But it's up on our screen every Sunday. It's easy to find. Unity Namaste, 3 words, UnityNamasteAhiheek@gmail. Send us an email. If you're confused, send us an email. If you don't know how to subscribe, send us an email. Okay? But if you send us an email, say, I want a copy, you are registered. All right? I need to know that you're taking the course. And I have 2 ways to find out. A is you send me, and B is you buy a copy from the publisher. If you do not buy a copy from the publisher, you will not be sent a link for Zoom.
Yeah, it's important because this is how this is applying the principles. So that's part of their income. They sell those books. So we only make copies for you, and they know that. If you buy the book electronically, because that money is for them, for the New Thought Association or whatever, New Thoughts for Living. And the reason you had to give us $10 more is because that's what it costs for us to print it. You can print it yourself. It is, if you don't need, it doesn't have to be through us, but some people have difficulties. But we will do it for you.
Or you can do it on a device if you're comfortable with it.
But if you feel comfortable working electronically, you don't need to print it. Because I love to have the book by hand, you see, and to do work, and the questions are here.
We recommend you buy the book. It really makes a difference. You can write notes in it, you can come back to it. It's much easier than
It's really.
If you're good with Kindle, then don't worry about it. But if you're not, buy a book.
It's easier to have a book and to. There's other stuff like CDs, audiobooks, and those are, if you want to, but they are not necessary. Okay, so it's up to you. It's optional. If you, I had to confess, I had never used. I have it because somebody gave it to me as a gift, but I don't listen to audiobooks. It's not my thing. I like to read and I like to write. You have it.
So if we just put everything online, you automatically know we put our order in and then you arrive back.
If you buy from the publisher, we will know.
From the newthought.org?
Correct.
Yeah,
If you have questions about what to do next or what's going on, UnityNamasteAhiheek@gmail will get me.
So we're just buying the ebook and then Jack will print it.
if
But then you gotta let me know, so there's 2 steps. One is everybody who wants to participate in the course has to buy $10 a book, either a printable copy or an ebook. And then 2, you gotta let us know whether or not you want us to print you a copy. And through those 2 methods, we will know that you're here. And we're gonna wind up, right now the link is available to anybody, but the link is gonna be by invitation. So that, if you haven't bought the book, you're not gonna be able to watch on Zoom.
So are we buying the printable workbook and the workbook exercises? Because that's $2 more.
You can buy whatever else you want. This is a minimum. You can buy the facilitator's manual for all we care. You have
What-
to buy either the printable or the ebook. Anything else you want to buy is optional. But as a minimum, you have to buy either one of those.
No, the printable, the print,
There's two choices. You get several choices there, but you must either buy the ebook or the printable book. Either one. If you have a printer, you can print out the printable one, and we don't have to buy it.
you always have to buy the ebook
No, they can buy
No?
a printable book online.
online.
PDF. It's a PDF of the whole book.
Oh,
Let me show you the screen again.
But then if we buy the printable PDF online, do we still send you, Ahiki Namaste, an email saying we want the workbook next week, or you will?
Yes.
Yes?
I
Go
don't-
through this again.
I don't know.
Okay, let me go through
No,
this again. And then we
I-
get something to talk about with, look at the screen, sweetheart. There's two choices. There's two choices. When you go to this website, you'll see this in the bottom right-hand corner. I blew it up so you can see it easier. You have the choice of either paying $10 for an ebook or $10 for a printable workbook. The printable workbook is a PDF. So you gotta buy either one of those. You can buy anything else you want, but you gotta buy at least one of those two. Then we know that you're taking the course. If you haven't done that, you're not in the course. Okay? And then, if you want us to print you a copy, you need to send us an email. UnityNamasteIHeek@gmail.com.
Is the ebook and the printable workbook the same?
I don't think so. The printable workbook allows you to print it once. The ebook, I don't think allows you to print it.
I mean, the content.
Content's
content-
identical,
Yes,
121 pages.
yes.
Steve?
Okay, so say after I buy the printable workbook, if I want that printed, I send another $10 to you guys.
You will, but you have to pay us, the other $10 you'll pay us to unitynamaste.org. Okay, so think of it two ways. This is for the publisher, the other is for the printed copy, which is through us.
And
I want to point one other thing. You'll see here the Spanish version, right?
I did.
Johannes wrote the Spanish version.
I translated it
Okay.
because I said, my God, Spanish-speaking people need to know these principles. Oh, there's no translation. I said, I will do it. So we have the translation there.
Now, one other thing, online, remember, this Sunday, daylight savings time starts. Now, that doesn't affect you if you're in Mexico Central Time, but if you're in the US, it screws everything up. So 10 a.m. on the East Coast will be noon, starting next Sunday.
That's for
And
them.
in California, it'll be 9 instead of what it is right now, which is 11 and 8. All right, so be aware of the difference between daylight savings time in the US and Central Time Mexico. Central Time Mexico is not the same as Central Daylight Time in the US.
Okay.
Essentially, that's another way to look at it, is Central Time Mexico during daylight savings time is like mountain time.
Oh, okay. Question about the book or anything, you can contact us. Again, we are here to be helpful. I just want to read you and what we are going to do. This is the guidelines for group participation that we are going to do here together. It says, the purpose of the Keys to the Kingdom group is to provide a loving, supportive, non-judgmental group environment to nurture spiritual growth. The Keys to the Kingdom group is simply a vehicle for spiritual growth. You are the driver responsible for your own growth. We are all each other's teachers. We are here to learn from each other. If anything doesn't fit or feel right to you, put it on a mental shelf. You may want to come back to it later. You don't have to accept anything. Agreeing to the following guidelines will help all group members gain the most from their experience. Rules or agreements: confidentiality, punctuality, respect. And respect is not only to pay attention to when somebody's talking. Sometimes somebody's sharing something and then you start talking with the neighbor. No, no, no. We are together in this. Sincerity, expressing yourself from the heart. We don't need to impress anybody here. This is to grow. And then commitment and support, and then trust, security, and faith. That's what we are embarking on for 7 weeks. Any question? Yes.
How do we, do the financial, tithing part? Do we pay you once a week? Do we pay you at the end for the course, at the beginning for the course?
Well, we recommend once a week because it gives you like a sense of you are doing what you need to do. You know, like it's like to say, well, I'm going to tithe of my time at the end of the 7 weeks. No, during 7 weeks, we are going to do the things that work in our life. We are going to put it on practice. This is a practice, 7 weeks.
Right, and if you have trouble figuring out what your income is, talk to me. I can help you figure it out one way or another. Because it's not exact. It's not an exact science for some people who don't know what their income. They get it periodically and it varies. So for some people, that's an interesting issue. Steve.
Question.
In pesos, cash?
No, online, unitynamaste.org.
Are
Through
you-
your credit card, through PayPal or Venmo. I hope everybody has at least one credit card. And debit
It's-
cards work, by the way.
And also, it's easier then to keep track of what you have been giving, because this is information for you. Steve, you have.
That was my question, you answered it.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, my question is, I'm from Canada and I have organizations that I tithe to now. Can I continue with that?
It's
That's your decision.
yeah.
The
that's
course recommends you up your tithing, but it's up to you to decide what your commitment is and how you want to do it. But this is tithing to a spiritual community. This is not secular charitable giving, which
yes,
is
this
different.
is not charity. Like if you give to orphans or no. This is a spiritual community.
Or you give to your poor relatives, which some people do.
Some
No.
people do that, which is true. Yeah. Somebody, well, I tie to my brother because he doesn't have a job. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a Canadian too, and I'm going up north on Wednesday. And then I'm going to be doing more traveling. Is it possible to make a transfer to my bank account to Namaste Village?
It's no namaste. We are no namaste village.
Right. This is Unity Namaste. If you have
It
trouble
doesn't-
getting us money, you send me an email and I'll work. What is your name? Lucy, you
Lucy.
send me an email. We'll figure out how to get it one way or another. But it works easiest for us if you use a credit card. Even Canada, they use credit cards, I believe. And PayPal accepts even Canadian credit cards, for heaven's sake.
Yeah. More questions. More questions. Are you clear about the book?
I kind of have a question. When you're figuring the 10%, you're figuring on 7 weeks of the year?
No. Whatever you are making while you are taking the class.
Let me explain it. The easiest thing is if you have a weekly salary, 10% of gross or net, your decision. If you have a monthly salary, you work it out what it would be per week. If you have a yearly, you get a lump sum, you work that out divided by 52. And if it's whatever works for you, and if you need help figuring it through, I'll be happy to help you.
So for example, if somebody gets $1,000 a month Social Security, 10% of that would be $100 a month or $25 a session.
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
That's a great example. Okay. More
So-
questions.
This is a mathematician, so if I need help, I'll ask her.
Yeah, I teach. I'm a math teacher. Okay. Used to teach math. What else? I love teaching us. That's any other question. I'm telling you, it's amazing what you are going to experience here. And the book is, you are going to read it in your house. Here we will do a totally different, but always related to the week, to the principle that we are studying that week. Because it's boring to read a book and in the class. No, this is practice. And these 7 weeks is practice. Well, so no more questions? Yes.
How long are the classes?
Oh, okay. That's a good question. It's 1.5. 1 hour and a half. Now, what happened is people get so excited and sharing and asking and that sometimes last 1 hour 45 minutes, sometimes 2 hours. I tell people just put aside 2 hours for the because the classes get intense and fun. And it's things happen and questions and sharing. I don't like to say, no, we don't have time. So class is 1.5 hours, but think of putting aside 2 hours. Let's say from 10 to 12. Also, I'm always available at the end of the class to answer questions. So some of you will need some counseling. I'm here for you. I will give you my phone number. You can call me. There is the forgiveness process. Some people go through difficult times and they call me. These 7 weeks, I'm yours, I'm telling you, and we will be in connection.
So doing the math again.
I love it.
Okay, doing the math again because I'm gonna be traveling.
See.
I know I've got commitments, I gotta take care of stuff. So 90 minutes, 7 days a week to do some spiritual practice meditation.
Meditation, reading books, coming to services, things
Oh, okay,
like that.
so unity
You,
counts.
claro, anything
Morning
you
session
do.
counts.
Morning,
Morning
se-
session
mo-
counts. Coming to my panurhythmic class would count. Teaching
count.
my panurhythmic
Anything you
But
do
then-
for your spiritual work counts.
and then 2 hours on Monday, and another 4 hours a week doing spiritual
Volunteer work in any place you choose.
Any type of volunteer work?
Yes.
Kids kitchen?
Yes,
Any
yeah.
type of volunteer work?
Yes.
Service.
Service to an institution, to a person. Anything you do for service. Like I had my sister.
For yourself.
That is not for yourself. One of my sisters, her husband has surgery. She was overwhelmed. You know what I did one day? I did it 2 Saturdays in a row. I went to clean her house and I spent like 5 hours. I was exhausted. I needed to do service to others. Okay? What else? Questions. I hope you are ready to embark in this journey because this is a journey. 7 weeks. Questions or anything, send Jack an email and
If you miss a class, are they recorded that a person could listen?
we are going to record the classes. And if you miss a class also, you can contact me and I will tell you what to do during that week. So, because we become, again, a spiritual community and it's important that we all are in the same page. Is that clear? So that week you are going to be working with the rest of the group is working with.
I was wondering if you could put up the slide again with where we get the book.
Jack? Yes, we can do that. The slide where we get the book. It's new thoughts for living.com.
If you subscribe to Unity Namaste, this will be sent out probably by Wednesday.
You can
By an email to everybody.
Yeah, you can subscribe to Unity Namaste also, pero
UnityNamaste.org. If you're not a subscriber, you probably should be.
see, because we are going to be doing this work. I'm so
And
happy.
okay. I'm real good as the devil's advocate to make sure I heard what I think you said. Even if somebody gifted you a book or it came to you, we still have to buy, say, the ebook online to honor the copyright to the people.
Correct.
Yes.
One way or another, you give them the $10 for the material, and then the extra $10 is to physically print it unless you can get your printer to work.
Yes.
Got it. I'm good
Got
with
it.
that.
No, that's good because then it clarifies also for others. So I'm very happy that you guys are really, because this is not only for ourselves, this is for the whole planet. The planet needs I mean, a group of people like us working on deepening on spirit. That's what all we are going to do. Any other question? No? Yes.
I signed up for a trip and it starts on Monday for 3 days. Is that gonna be I'll be gone till Thursday?
I have to tell you what to do during that week because you have to do some work.
Okay,
It's the first class.
Let's talk to her after we're finished.
After we finish, I will tell you what to do.
okay.
Okay, so that because you cannot come the second week without having done the first week, I will tell you the first class in a nutshell.
First class is the most important.
The most important one, pero trust spirit that you can. I will talk to you. Okay, so thank you, some audience, and thank you. Yes, I'm happy too.